So this video is on 3-61 to 66, Friday's homework. I'm going to run through these questions because I know some of us might have had some questions on these since I was not able to go through them today in class. So we want to find the expected value for this game. We've got $5, $20, or $0, depending on what it lands on. First thing I want to do is figure out all of these degrees. So this is 90 degrees. And then if I take 360 minus 135 minus 90, I actually end up getting 135. So this is also 135 degrees. So then to figure out their probabilities, I'm going to put them over 360, over 360, over 360. Now I can reduce or I could just leave them as is. But this does reduce down to 1/4. This reduces down to 3/8, and so does this. So when you're trying to find expected value, you're going to take the probability for that particular amount times it by the amount. So I'm going to take 1/4 times $5 plus 3/8 times $20 plus 3/8 times $0. And I'm going to work that out. And when I work that out, just get my calculator here. Okay. So I'm going to be taking 1/4 times 5 plus 3/8 times 20. I don't need to do the times 3/8 times 0. So that's going to be $8.75. So I get $8.75. So if you pay $10 to play, is this a fair game? No. For it to be fair, your expected value and the amount of money you pay to play needs to be the same. So for it to be fair, the expected value and the amount you pay to play needs to be the same. So we actually are expected to only win $8.75. It's going to cost us $10 because it's definitely not fair. But it has to be exactly the same amount. If I expect to win $10, then I should pay $10 for it to be fair. Okay, so these ones probably good on these, but I will go through this. So 3/4 times what gets us 1? It's reciprocal, 4/3. And then when I add these together, I'm going to get a common denominator. So this side, if I times by 3 top and bottom, I get 9/12. This one, if I times by 4, I get 16/12. So that is going to give me 25/12. On B, multiplies to 6, adds to 5, 3, and 2. C multiplies to 5, so -1 times a -5. Those are going to add to a -6. On D, 6 minus 2 gets us a 4. 6 times a -2 is a -12. Okay, on 8-63A and B, both of these are isosceles triangles. So this is going to be X in this situation, and this is going to be 71 over here. The base angles, which are the angles opposite the two sides that are the same, need to be the same. So basically, I'm going to have X plus 82 equal 180. So I get 2X plus 82 is equal to 180. I get 2X is equal to 98. So I get X is equal to 49 degrees. On B, Those are both 71. So I'm going to have x plus 71 plus 71 equals 180. So basically I have x plus 142 is equal to 180. So x is going to be equal to 38 degrees. And that'll be my answer. So on the next set of questions, this is the one that probably people have questions on. So when you're trying to write an exponential equation, right now for us, it's going to be the form y equal a times b to the power x. This we saw in integrated one. So I am going to put 2 comma 48 in for x and y and get one equation, and 5 comma 750 into to get a second equation. So 2 comma 48. So I'm going to have 48 is equal to a times b to the second. Okay, that was from my first point. From my second point, I'm going to have 750. 750 is equal to a times b to the fifth. Now, I cannot use elimination. I cannot use equal values. I'm going to use substitution, but what I need to do is I need to solve one of them in terms of either A or B. What I would highly recommend is the one that has the smallest exponent, which is this equation here, because it's a second as opposed to a fifth. Solve this for A. I think it's much easier to solve this for A. So you're going to have 48 over b squared equals a. And that is what I'm going to substitute this right here in for a. So when I do that, I am going to get 750 is equal to 48 over b squared times b to the fifth. Okay, again, this was my A. So now what happens is I have a b squared on bottom that will be canceling out with my b to the fifth, leaving me with a b to the third. That's why I chose to solve the one with my smallest exponents, because I knew that that was going to be on bottom. And it's much easier if I'm doing it with the smaller of the two. Okay. So now I am going to have 750 is equal to 48b to the third. I am going to divide both sides. Sorry, just grabbing my calculator. I am going to divide both sides by 48. So 750 divided by 48 gives me a 15.625. So 15.625 is equal to b to the third. Then to undo my b to the third, I am going to cube root. And so when I do, I'm going to get b is equal to, and so when I take the cube root, and to get the cube root, let me make this a little bigger. I'm going to come to the keyboard. I'm going to come to functions. I'm going to go to miscellaneous, and here you go. And I want the cube root of 15.625, and I get a 2.5. Okay, I get a 2.5. So this is a 2.5. So now when I come up to my equation at the top, my y equal, I know it's going to be y equal a times 2.5 to the power x. And here, I'm actually going to write it this way so that it doesn't look 2.5 to the power x. And now I need to find my a. So one way to do that is to take my 2.5 and plug it into this equation here that I just put in purple for my b. So I'm going to go 48 over 2.5 squared is equal to A. And so let me clear this, and I'm going to go 48 divided by the quantity 2.5 squared, and I get 7.68. So this is going to be 7.68 is equal to A. So now into this equation up here, I can put my A. So I'm going to have y equal 7.68 times 2.5 to the power x. And that is my final answer. This one right here that I'm highlighting. Okay. On 3-65. Use what you know about a scale factor between similar figures to answer the following questions. So assume a triangle has 6, 7, and 10, and another one has 3, 4, and 5. Are these similar? So I'm just going to kind of color code. The 10 and the 5 are the biggest in both cases, so those have to be corresponding. My smaller in both situations are 3 and 7, which means the 7 and 4 need to go together. So when I do, whoops, not in highlight. When I do 6 over 3, I get 2. When I do 10 over 5, I get 2. So far it looks similar. The problem is when I do 7 over 4, I end up with a 1.75, which is not the same ratio. So these are not similar. So you don't want to just check 2 pairs, you want to check all 3. On B, we have 2 pentagons, and let me just color code. So this and this go together, this and this go together, and this go together. Okay. So I want to find, so a couple ways you can do this, okay? Looking at this, I noticed that my 24 and my 8, okay? So my 24 and my 8, that's a ratio of 3. So basically, I'm taking my 8, timesing it by 3 to get 24. So that means that I can take my 11, times it by 3 to get 33. So X would be 33. Now I could also have set up a ratio, okay? So I could have set up that 24 over X is equal to 8 over 11. Cross multiply, and I get 8X is equal to, and 24 times 24 times 11 is 264. Divide that by 8, and I got that same 33. Okay. So if I'm thinking about that everything in this one is being multiplied by 3 to get here, then going backwards, what am I doing? I'm dividing by 3. So this 18 over here, this would be a 6. And so I know that basically my y minus 4 has to equal 6. So my y is going to be a 10. I could do it that way. Or again, I could set up a ratio and do the following. I'm going to use the 24 and 8 again. Is equal to 18 over y minus 4. Now, I think I'm going to reduce this and divide both of them by 6. So I'm going to end up with by 6. Both of them by 4, by 8. I'm going to get a 3. I don't even know what I'm saying. By 3. So I'm going to get 3 is equal to 18 over y minus 4. I'm going to cross multiply, and I get 3 times y is 3y, 3 times the -4 is a -12 equal 18. I am going to add 12, I get a 30. I am going to divide by 3, I get a 10. Same answer I got thinking about what I'm timesing by or dividing by. From one side, I have to do that to each of the sides. Okay, and last problem here. This is the roll and win. Okay, so we're rolling 2 dice. So let me just get, whoops, let me get a square going here. And I am going to split it in half. And then I'll do 2 lines on either side. I'm going to move this one over a little bit, give myself a little bit more space. Okay. And then I'm going to go across, split it in half because I'm trying to get a 6 by 6. And then I'll do 2 lines. Just expanding it a little. Okay. And I'm going to do it again right here. Okay. And then I'm going to have a 1, a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the sums I'm looking for in this problem, if you read through the directions, is a 6 and a 7. So the first question is saying, how many different ways can I get a sum of 6? So 5 and 1, 4 and 2, 3 and 3, 2 and 4, 5 and 1. So I have 5 different ways. How many ways are there to get a sum of 7? So for a sum of 7, 6 and 1, 5 and 2, 4 and 3, 3 and 4, 2 and 5, 6 and 1. And if I count that, I have 6. So how many different outcomes do I care about in this problem? The ones I care about are the 5 sums of 6 and the 6 sums of 7, which is 11. So what's the probability of getting a sum of 6 before a sum of 7? 5 out of 11, and that's your answer. So hopefully this will help those of us who needed help on this homework.